Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 108 of the Nope Coach podcast. Anything can be an advantage. I'm your host, Suzanne Culberg. And before I dive into today's topic, depending on when you're listening to this, so if you're listening to it as it releases, then tomorrow is our next Get Coached. And if you're listening to this later, if you head over to my website, suzanneculberg.com, click on the resources tab and go over to Get Coached, it will tell you when the upcoming class is. Get Coached is a fabulous option to, as the name says, get coached on anything you've listened to on this podcast. There's been 108 episodes thus far. We have covered a wide variety of topics, and I am sure that many of you have questions or things you'd like to dive deeper in. Basically, it is a 1 hour hot seat style coaching call with a capped number of people. There is an investment. It's 22 Australian dollars at the time of recording this. If you're catching this in the future, the price may have changed. And the reason I have a cost associated with it, I'm nothing if not fully transparent. Originally, Get Coached was free, and a number of people would register and then not show up. And that kind of irritates me because, sitting around waiting for people, no. So there is a low cost associated with it so that, you show up. And basically, it's not recorded. It is live and it's a deep dive and its ability to get coaching on anything. I am a life coach. I have experience in many areas. I used to primarily work on weight loss mindset. Now I work primarily on boundaries and communication, but Get Coached is anything goes. We've had months where we've talked about relationships. We've had months where we've talked about business. It is your chance to ask anything that you want coaching on, and it is not recorded, and it's fabulous. I really enjoy offering these once a month, $22, and full transparency, at the time of me recording this, there's one person registered. So this person could get a one-on-one session for a bargain price. But if anyone else would like to come and join, it's $22. Love to see you there. And if you're watching in future, I'm not sure how much the price will be at that time, but once a month I offer it. And also for those of you who have messaged me saying, well, it's 2 a.m. my time, I vary the times month to month. So at this month's one, August 2023, it's 8 p.m. Sydney time. And then next month, it will probably be 10 or 11 a.m. So I can suit either the UK or the US audience. And Aussies, you can either choose to come morning or night. So that's Get Coached. As for today's topic, anything can be an advantage. I think so often we tend to look to where we're not good at things or we can't do things because I can't do that because I have kids at school, because I have responsibilities, because I'm an introvert, because. My invitation for you today is to flip that on its head and see where anything can be an advantage if you look for it. For example, I am inherently lazy or efficient, as the saying may be, depending on which way you look at it. So my advantage with the way that I run my business and do my podcast is it's one take, no fake. I don't edit. I don't do show notes. I don't muck around. That to me is a great advantage because I don't invest a lot of time and energy on something that for me isn't going to bring rewards. If that's what you like to do, then, you do you. But to me, I think it's an advantage that I don't edit, that, what you see and what you hear is what you get. And I love that. I also think one of my biggest advantages is that I'm an introvert, that I need a lot of alone time. I need a lot of downtime. I need a lot of time away from other people to recharge. You could say, in business, being an introvert could be a disadvantage, but it depends on how you look at it. It's an advantage for me because I set my hours. I work when is best, when it's best for me to work. I'm not stuck in a 9 to 5 where I, have to turn up and have to be on if I don't feel, charged. So I use my introversion to my advantage and I work, when is best for me. The fact that I have kids, I don't see that as a disadvantage in any way, shape or form. My children are much more social than me. I call them my marketing managers. I wrote a book back in 2021. It's called The Beginning is Shit, an unapologetic weight loss memoir. And I accidentally ordered too many copies. As I said, nothing if not honest. And I was like, man, I've got all these copies to sell. And my kids, as a joke, they defaced a copy. They signed it with their names, and they crossed out my name and wrote my book, not mummy's. And they were like, they thought it was so funny. I took a photograph of that, put it on social media, and a number of people ordered a second copy of the book because they wanted one signed by my marketing team. So you could be like, oh, your kids are, trashing your books, or you could be like, I turned it to my advantage. Very recently, I did an episode about flying. I don't particularly enjoy flying, but how I was stuck at the airport for, many hours with a delayed flight. And you can sit there frustrated and mad and annoyed. Or what was my advantage? I was child-free. I had a good book. So whenever you catch yourself, and we all do it, I'm not immune to this, where you're stuck in the, compare and despair and everything sucks and life's terrible. How can this be your advantage? Working for myself, it does have drawbacks, as does anything, as being employed. But the advantage of working for myself is I can call my episodes whatever the fuck I want, and I can swear as much as I like, and I don't need to worry about answering to anyone else. So where in your life have you seen something as a disadvantage? The fact that perhaps you're a parent, or that you're introverted, or that you're shy, or that you're awkward, or you don't have editing skills, or whatever. And how can these things be turned to your advantage? Because anything can be an advantage. The disruptors, the people who are different to status quo, who do the unexpected, often it's not really what's seen. We expect, we expect basketballers to be a certain height, or we expect, people to be in a certain way. And then when someone comes in and they're really short, and you think, oh, they'll never be any good, but perhaps they're speedy, or perhaps, people overlook them, or somebody who's, more quiet and reserved in a role that is nominally to somebody who's very extroverted and outgoing. What could be the advantage in that? And, where in your life have you been downplaying, dismissing, or ignoring something that actually is your advantage? So my invitation for you today, if you're listening to this, or if you're watching this on YouTube, pop in the comments, what is your advantage? Or if you're unsure, what's something that's your sticking point, and see if other people can come up with how we can turn that into your advantage. For me, the fact that I ramble used to really hold me back. I was like, I'm not eloquent. I'm not good at memorizing speeches. It used to really hold me back from doing so many things in my life. And now I'm like, yeah, I let it go. This is my advantage. I can just ramble on, and the people who love it, and the people who don't are free to, not listen and tune into another show. So have a think about, where is something in your life that you haven't necessarily been seeing for the gold that it is, and let me know in the comments on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the next one. Bye for now.